our city air is harmful. It's a scientific fact. Many residents are not aware poor air quality even exists. Like other 4-year-olds ready to heal the world, I invented the air pollution vacuum. Could this be the key to finally turning it on? Unfortunately not. It is just the button that clicks through my slides. The real key is in each of us, relearning how we move, where we dwell, and which businesses we choose to support. Local pulmonologist Dr. Daniel Mendoza stated that 50% of Americans do not believe in climate change, but 100% of them believe in lung cancer. This makes sense to me. If we hear news of a family member or a friend getting sick with disease, we believe it. But if an issue does not directly affect our immediate circle, it's much easier to ignore. That's the power of community. What is air pollution? Why am I so afraid of it? Air pollution is simply anything in the air that makes it unhealthy to breathe. Particles and vapors in the air can either be human-caused, like car emissions, or naturally occurring, like dust. Cities like Salt Lake that are built between mountains trap air pollution. When warm air pushes down cold air, it creates an inversion. This pollution is common during the winter. The trapped cold air contains toxins and particulates classified by its size and measurements much smaller than even the thickness of a human hair. This is the lung of a non-smoker who lived in a highly populated city. You can see the lung has black spots, indicating trapped cancer-causing particles from excess pollution. And this is the lung of a non-smoker who lived in a rural area. The effects of air pollution here are clear. We take in around 20,000 breaths every day. Particles enter our nose and our mouth. Our natural defenses allow us to cough and sneeze out small amounts of toxins, but pollution over time taxes our bodies. The respiratory tract swells and triggers infections like asthma, pneumonia, and bronchitis. The result is lasting and harmful damage on our body's internal tissues and organs. During poor air quality, I can feel the toxic air. My throat becomes scratchy and I get super lightheaded. Maybe you all feel it too. My instinct is to head to the mountains above the trapped valley air to escape and to recharge. When I see the pollution down in the cities below, it motivates me to take action. How do we possibly adopt new lifestyle choices in an effort to influence our community to clean up our air? First, our movement. It affects both the rate our body is exposed to pollution and the cleanliness of the air we breathe. Often you hear health professionals suggesting we limit or avoid high levels of activity during times of poor air quality. An individual exercising with an increased heart rate can take in 20 times more air than a person at rest. During inversions, I advocate for exercising with a minimum of an N95 face mask. How we move in and around our cities highly affects the air we breathe. The Environmental Protection Agency compiled detailed emissions data. We can say that automobiles contribute to approximately 50% of our city's air pollution. It wasn't until I tried life without a car that I realized we're trapped. Cycling at a snail's pace, carrying all of your ski equipment, may not be for everyone. I've done the testing, and I can tell you, it is so freaking rough. The weather in our cities greatly determines how we commute. Depending on the forecast, I set a soft schedule around which days I'm going to bike to work, drive to work, carpool or utilize mass transit. Carpooling with a neighbor or a coworker is easy as a game of rock, paper, scissors. For those of us who seek the mountains as an escape, we need to rethink our approach. If you've traveled any of our beautiful canyons on a busy weekend, you know that single passenger vehicles lining the canyon roads is unacceptable. Alternate solutions like electric van ride shares and more options for public transportation can and will change how we move and use mass transit responsibly. The second choice we make that affects the air we breathe is where we dwell, meaning where we live and where we work. Commercial and residential buildings account for roughly another 30% of our valley's air pollution. We can utilize a building's energy infrastructure for at least 50 years, but we are currently utilizing fossil fuel energy systems. Innovations like off-the-grid housing developments are being adopted, but geothermal heating and cooling, solar energy, and clean building materials standards have not been mandated in the United States. We as individuals have to hold builders accountable for the construction materials they use. There are a few at-home practices we can start doing right away. Harvesting greens all winter is possible in cold climates. Gardening reduces the number of trips taken to the store and greatly decreases our city's overall emissions. Washable and reusable home air filters reduce waste and begin to filter inside air. But standard heating and cooling systems do not always purify a building's air to healthy levels. Plants also remove toxins from the air. Studies by NASA have found many common houseplants to be very effective. Private researchers narrowed it down to 3. The areca palm removes carbon dioxide and converts it into oxygen. The mother-in-law's tongue converts carbon dioxide into oxygen at night. And the money plant removes formaldehydes and other volatile chemicals. Mine has yet to grow any money. By putting 12 of these plants in my very small home, the Smouse, the inside air I breathe went from chemical matter and particulate levels similar to the city's outside air to pretty darn clean. Because of these results, I've introduced houseplants to my businesses as well. Third, which businesses do we support? As I've demonstrated, simple changes make a big difference. We must put our money where our mouth is, as dirty as that sounds. It is brutally clear that economic considerations are driving our environmental reality. It is our individual action that is going to allow us to see cleaner air in the immediate future. If we continue to support businesses that do not support clean air, we will be stuck in this perpetual cycle. The direct action we can take to reduce emissions in heavily populated areas includes buying local and limiting all of those online purchases. Consumers are responsible for the majority of mass transit. Two-day delivery culture is filling our neighborhoods with excess pollution. Shipping our food can be avoided. Local, community-supported agriculture, often called CSA, is an option to buy fresh food from a farmer in your neighborhood. Write your favorite brand. Suggest they implement electric delivery vehicles. Or better yet, a bicycle carrier option is feasible for many businesses in urban areas. Shifting lifestyle practices makes a significant impact on our air and our economy. These suggestions are easy to implement. Profit and public health are not mutually exclusive. Now, each time you look in the mirror, you will see that key to turning on every air pollution vacuum. It's knowing we each have the power to make a difference. Thank you.